I'm toasty. FYI.
Not to be confused with our good friend Toast.
Toasty!
Although to be fair, he's I mean this with all love and respect. He's
He's
probably
fairly
toasty.
toasty most
I
of
was
the time
gonna say
too.
he's fairly toasty himself. No hate whatsoever, and I think he would appreciate that sentiment. Welcome everybody to the Average Intelligence Podcast. And I just realized that we are interrupting the free and equal third party presidential debate, which is super late this time because it's less than 2 weeks till the election. But I think this year everybody knows, and as an avid third party voter, I think everybody knows that third parties this go around don't have a snowball's chance in hell. Third parties this go around don't have a snowball's chance.
Mm-mm.
It's like I'm waiting for your audio, and I'm just like,
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Hold on. I was just trying to get this taken care of. Okay. All right.
okay, you're
I'm
good,
alive
you're good,
now.
you're good, you're good. I didn't hear your. So we are tonight, as you can infer from the title. Mostly we're going to be going over these polls, and I'm telling you what, I can't even believe what's been happening the past like not even a month. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Um, as you will see momentarily, Donald Trump, I I'm pretty sure Donald Trump's going to pull the rabbit out of the hat, and I will back that up with facts and logic here momentarily. But yeah, election day is next Tuesday. No, I'm sorry, not next Tuesday, Tuesday after next, November the 5th. So remember, in your state, it might be too late to register to vote if you haven't already, but
Yeah, I'm screwed. I forgot to register.
no, you're good.
I missed it by one day.
No, but you're already registered from the previous. You just didn't change your address. In Indiana, it
So
auto
I can
renews
still
you.
go vote
Yeah, you just have to go vote in your, uh,
district
yeah.
wherever I'm at. So how
Well,
do I find out my
we're
district? Just
you should be able, indianavoters.org. All your information's on there.
IndianaVoters.org. That's where you can find it on there. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, it's where you can find everything. It's like, no,
It just works. The salt, beef, salt, and water.
I will say this. I think every state should run their elections the way Indiana does. Like, it's so stupidly simple. Like I said, you log on to indianavoters.org and it'll tell you if you need to register and it'll tell you where and you have multiple poll locations you can go to depending on where you live and it tells you all of them and the hours. It's great. It's absolutely
It
great.
and it's all sent digitally and counted digitally amazingly efficiently.
Well, yeah, there's a reason by like 8 p.m. Indiana's results are in because our polls close at 6 normally, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually by like 8 or 9 o'clock, we have our results, and it's almost always Republican. But anyway, let's look at some polls, shall we? Because
Yeah, that's why I wasn't worried. I was like, yeah.
this is exciting for Trump voters, not so much for Kamala fans.
Ooh, what's this? Jake sharing his screen. Oh,
You can see that, right? Because the YouTube
yep.
can.
I can see it perfectly.
I'm just gonna try
The
to make
YouTube.
trying to make this bigger, but it's not working. It's
You just gotta
it's
play
not
with
working.
it.
Okay, well, I got it to work last time, but it's being. I think this was. Yeah, there we go. That's where I can make
Yeah,
it
Mr.
bigger.
Garrison loves kids.
Oh,
Oh, Cesar Vitavers.
all right. So this currently, which again are not our friends. I wish they were my friends. Our friends at 270towin.com. This is my go-to for election projections. What you see here that's already colored in are the states that are pretty safe, based
Pretty
upon
much
polling
guaranteed to be
data,
blue. No.
yeah, or red depending. So you'll notice the states that are in tan are the battleground states. These are the ones that are contested. So in an effort to be fair and unbiased, I have two polling sources. We have National Real Clear Politics and The Hill, both of which have a collection of polls from the states in question. Now, some people keep bringing up that Kamala is leading in the popular vote. I don't give a shit about the popular vote because that's not what's going to decide the election. I care about the states' votes. So we're
Mm.
going to start Pennsylvania was in here already. I'm just going to refresh it to get the latest data. And as you can see, Real Clear Politics shows Trump leading 48.3 to 47.8. And keep in mind, margin of error is 3%. So it can go, it's basically a swing of six from one extreme to another. So at this rate, they're essentially tied. But from the polls perspective, we're going to go with the leader. And then let's see, let's go over to Pennsylvania here. Where's it? Oh, there it is. And the Hill also has Trump leading in Pennsylvania by like 0.2%. So, but based on both of those collections, we're going to go ahead and say the Pennsylvania. And then keep in mind this total here. Remember, 270 to win.
Dude,
So,
with everything happening, do you think anyone would actually vote for anyone else? Like, I mean, I understand you're probably going to vote for a libertarian. What was
no,
his name?
I don't think I am. I
You're not
think
going with
I'm,
libertarian?
I think I'm going Trump. I was going to tell you that in private, but then I got covered up in
Mm,
work.
well, my fault. I didn't mean to bring that out in live,
Oh, I
but
don't care. I
hey,
wasn't gonna
I
Chase
mean,
and Chase
it's nothing to
Chase
be ashamed of. It's a fucking decision. Who cares?
Chase Owens is his name, by the way, and the reason being because he's right. I've actually never voted for a Republican in a presidential election in my entire life. It's either been Democrat or third party. However, this go around, I don't consider Trump a Republican. In my mind, Trump is very much a third party candidate under the Republican ticket because in some ways he
He's
is very Republican. Oh, and I forgot at the outset of the show, this podcast is brought to you by the Arte Media podcast Pantheon program. More on that in a little bit later. But all that being said, so for the moment, I'm going to give Pennsylvania to Trump, but we'll look at another example where even if Trump loses Pennsylvania, if some of these polls stay the same, it's fine. It doesn't matter. So the next state we're going to look at, North Carolina. As we can see, Trump is pulling ahead by a little bit less than a full percentage point. And then we're going to look at Pennsylvania according to the Hill as well. I said Pennsylvania, I meant North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. And they have Trump polling higher over a percentage point.
Dude, I feel like it's if you were to go out in public and ask questions about like who are people voting for, I feel like this response right here, 50 and 40%, that's about average. Like honestly, 4 out of 10 people would probably be Kamala, 5 out of 10 would be Trump.
I think that's pretty safe to say nationwide. There are some exceptions. Like it's funny because it's no secret we live in Indiana and I live in one of two voting districts that normally vote blue, but all the other districts it's like a red wall, man. It's so but we've given
Well,
North Carolina to Trump.
and it only takes a few different electoral votes to sway an election, and just one state can
It
change
can come
that
down
like
to once.
crazy.
Well, very early on, even I was wrong, at least
We had
according.
two states switch in 2020. I'm not trying to talk about that election too much because obviously we all know what happened and it was all fair. So, there's no evidence whatsoever. Wink, wink. So we'll
Oh,
just leave that at
lovely.
that. And
The
it
Biden
was in the
Harris.
past.
I just saw a headline: Department of Justice threatens Elon Musk with criminal prosecution.
Yeah, of course. What?
Okay,
Because he was speaking the truth.
probably.
Not
So
allowed. No free speech in this country anymore.
yeah, unless you're small fries like us. So
No, no, they've taken some of our
no,
stuff down.
we're wannabe talk show hosts. Remember,
We are not wannabe talk show hosts. We
we
play
are
talk
talk
show
show
hosts on
hosts.
you.
Yeah,
We play
exactly.
talk show hosts on YouTube.
We're actors. That's what we really are.
We act like
Next.
we can act while I'm sitting
So
here munching on goldfish.
yeah. So remember when Trump was quote unquote losing Georgia in the polls?
No, I never heard that.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean
stopped.
this was
I don't pay attention to media anymore.
well, I just because this is red.
It's toxic.
Trump is according to the Real Clear Politics polling average. Trump is leading by 2.4 points in Georgia, which is just barely inside the margin of error. And for the Hill, it probably has a thinner gap. I have found the Hill leans a little bit more liberal, but you can only fudge polls so much. Yeah, so Trump's leading by 1.1. So
Dude,
again,
I like this format. This is cool.
yeah. So we're gonna give Georgia to Trump. By the way, you've already seen. Oh, and look what happened there.
What?
Trump just got to
Oh,
270.
270 to win.
Now, you see, here's the thing. I think, mathematically speaking, Kamala could still win.
You think I think Colorado's gonna flip red this year.
We'll look at that here in a second. Actually, hang on. But we're still going through the battleground
We're
states.
okay, no worries.
So
I
Wisconsin.
forgot we're on a mission.
This one, I'm floored by. Wisconsin. Trump is polling marginally ahead in Wisconsin, but 0.1 points, right? So, but my barometer for this is if each source has a candidate winning a state currently, I'm giving it to them. And so Trump is barely pulling Wisconsin. So for the moment, we're going to give that to him. But like I said, we'll look at some examples here, assuming that Wisconsin goes blue, which I think it might. I'm kind of surprised that Trump is polling as well as he is in Wisconsin. However, there's some good logic behind that. So next we have. I know if people are going to be like, "You're making this up." I'm like, no, I'm literally. That's why I'm showing you guys this. I'm not
Why is
saying the
Michigan so
polls,
liberal?
bro. Not Trump's pulling
It
ahead
doesn't
by
make any sense.
Trump's
In
pulling ahead
Michigan?
by, yeah, zero point 0.2 points. Trump is ahead. This is what floored me today. I never thought Trump would take Michigan, but both sources are showing Trump polling marginally ahead. So, based on the rules of the example, at least initially, we're going to give Trump Michigan. Which, dude, that's crazy. Do you remember? It wasn't that long ago, but it was a couple months ago. I said if Trump could somehow pull out Michigan, he wouldn't need Pennsylvania. Well, he might take both of them. This is wild, dude. I can't. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't believe they're admitting it. That's what I should say. So Arizona, again, Trump's got a strong lead in Arizona now. I mean, he's almost out of the margin of error. So in a couple, if he continues on this trend and exponentially goes upwards, Arizona could be considered safe from a polling standpoint.
Also, this is actually a safe spot too for them to sway something. I'm not saying they are, wink, wink, but I'm saying, if it's so close, you could tip something a certain way.
Yeah, yeah, and that's true. Again,
Just
these are
saying.
all polls. They could still, and like I said, all these battleground states are within the margin of error. So, but right now I'm going based on the polling data. That's the most
Yeah,
recent.
yeah.
So we've given Trump Arizona, and this is where. So just to illustrate this, Nevada really doesn't matter provided all this is accurate. Because even if Nevada goes blue, Kamala doesn't even have enough votes to win, much less beat Trump's number. Shit, I think I fucked up. I think I just turned Idaho more blue though.
You son of a bitch.
No, shit. Hold on. Fuck. I got it. Sorry, got to start over. He got Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. No, I turned Idaho blue. My mistake. Haha. I almost rigged an election.
So is Idaho red?
Idaho was red, and then I clicked it accidentally.
Damn.
So Nevada,
Idaho
Trump
love them
is
potatoes.
Trump is pulling ahead actually by a wider margin than he is in Arizona, at least according to Real Clear Politics. So let's Nevada. Where are you? Where are you, Nevada? Yeah. So Trump is according to the Hill, he's got a 0.1%, but he is winning based on both polling.
After that candy.
So, according to the polls, actually, you know what? We're going to look at Colorado real quick just to see. Oh, that's not a battleground state.
I heard Colorado's may flip red. That's pretty
Well, let's.
wishy-washy right now in territory. A lot of people are seeing the bullshit when they have Democratic mayors and whatnot, and nothing's getting done about anything. They're just letting shit go on.
My bad, guys. I hit a key. That's my bad. Nah, here
Hit it.
Harris is pulling at plus 11.
What was it? No, they're gone.
Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, so according, and I can only assume that the Hill is going to be. Why is California even? Yeah,
I don't know.
I can say
Could you imagine?
I don't. Well, okay. Here's the so Harris is polling less than Biden's final result in 2020, but marginally by like 1.5%. So, I can't see Colorado flipping, but that's okay. So check this out though. Like, oh my God, I remember when I thought the map was going to look more like this based upon polling data, and we were unsure about North Carolina. Pennsylvania was a big toss up, and so was Georgia. I was always pretty confident that Trump was going to take Arizona, but at one point, Kamala was polling ahead in Georgia. So let's just look at that. That looks pretty dire for Trump, right? That's when I was saying things like, way back when I was saying, because I was kind of tossing up North Carolina, I was giving that to Kamala. So that's when I was saying
That
Trump.
was before the Fulton County DA came out and said, "I'm sorry,
Well, and I was saying at the time, I said
we're dropping it."
Trump needs to pull Georgia and Pennsylvania
Boom,
and
Georgia flipped that day.
North Carolina to win. That's what I was saying. Now it looks like not only will Trump take those three, because though he actually has a wider victory range there, he's polling pretty high in Michigan. So I
Dude,
wouldn't be
what does
surprised.
North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia all have in common along that coastline? Tourism spots.
Hmm.
So therefore, like most tourism spots, for the most part, I would say are Republican, and the ones that are Democrat ran are shitty because they're not able to keep up because of all the damage and whatnot. And they don't take
Yeah.
care of some because of crime and whatnot. I'm not saying all their spots are shitty,
So,
but Indianapolis.
but this is this is a real possibility. This electoral map. But let's just say, okay, let's just say that Kamala manages to squeak out in Wisconsin and Michigan. It still doesn't matter. And let's say she can squeak by in Nevada. Still doesn't matter. In fact, Kamala would have to take Arizona and one other state, or if she could somehow take Pennsylvania, she could win. If she can manage to hang on to Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, and take Pennsylvania, she can win. In the span of like 2 to 3 weeks, these election requirements have flipped based on the polling data. Because I was saying the exact same thing about Trump a few weeks ago, that Trump would need to take, three other states and Pennsylvania to win. But again, based on the polling data, if these polls are accurate, and it's important to remember too that Trump historically outperforms his polls. And just to look, there's an article on 270 to win that talks about that. Now, one thing they have said though is that they have gotten rid of some, it says it here. They were talking about why the polls were off in 2016 and to a point in 2020. And they say that they've corrected those. But let's assume that's true. Let's assume that Trump won't outperform his polls. Those are the polls. Those are the polls
Damn.
as they sit. So this isn't even the ideal situation for Donald Trump. This is the safe maybe. And like I said, let's give Harris Wisconsin because Trump was only ahead by like point 0.1. Okay, fair enough.
Still 302. He's spanking her.
Yeah, and let's give her Michigan where she was the clear favorite up until like only a few days ago. Okay, Trump still
Still the
wins.
winner.
Trump keeps polling ahead in Pennsylvania. I mean, what was his lead? I can't remember now, but it was fairly substantial. I mean, I say substantial. It's still within the margin of error, but 48 to 47 and a half, so 0.5%. And then the Hill had him at, I can't remember now, 0.2%. So again, that's close, and they seem to be going parse and parse, but this is the most important number to me, though. Look at this.
Yeah,
Earlier in the
how
year,
did it start out like that? And all of a sudden now it's all wishy-washy right there. I'm just like, was it because people were so confident in Harris right here, and they're like, "Oh, she's all right," and they're like, "Well, nah, she's kind of stupid." They're like, "Man, maybe," and they're like, "Well, I don't know. Yeah, she's okay. She's stupid. No,
well,
she's okay.
I
She's
need to
stupid."
remind myself, when did Biden drop out of the race? That was in July, was it not?
And this is why. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
No, I'm checking myself. So what was this? Yeah, so July 21st or July 20th. So May,
That's why this
June,
looks like this.
July. Oh, look at that. Look at
Hmm.
that.
And look how her support went up and up and up, and it flatlined, and now
Oh,
it's
wait.
dropping.
Wait. What was
That's
this?
a
This
tail
was about
sign.
the this is around the time of the DNC. When was it? When was it? Come on. August 19th is when that started. So August 19th to the 22nd, Kamala's pulling ahead. They're riding high on the convention. And then as Kamala goes through her silence for about, it was what, about 8 weeks? And then right around the time she starts talking,
She starts going down. Like not quickly, but consistently.
I dude, and I feel bad for, I wouldn't say I doubted it because I knew in my heart of hearts I was right. I kept saying, man, I said it so many times. The more Kamala talks, the worse she will do. And lo and behold, now this has me curious now. So and see, this paints a very different picture because this has Biden and Trump. Oh, look at that. 'Cause that's around July 21st. So that's when Biden drops out.
Dude, I still can't believe that. Like, I understand that he dropped out, and it's like he knew he was old, and we all knew he was deteriorating, but it's like, dude, I can't believe they took that long to like literally submit.
Well, and here we go again. So this is Pennsylvania, but this is real clear politics, which I trust a little bit more than the Hill, but marginally. So they're polling about the same until right after the convention. Harris gets a spike, and then once again she gets another spike. When was the debate? The debate, yeah. So this would have been around the time of the debate, and then but as Kamala keeps talking, Trump pulls ahead again. Now this is going to be interesting. Let's pick another. Let's pick Georgia. Let's see what they did in Georgia. It should look very similar. Yep, look at that. Look at that. The exact same trend. Not the exact same, but you know what I mean.
It's almost like they planted her because if you
Well,
think
no,
about it,
it's almost like this is data that you can prove. Now, obviously,
she's looking like,
Trump jumps ahead pretty well.
yeah, because people are starting to see through the bullshit, like her trying to copy the, what was it, the tips thing,
That's even old
talking
news,
about,
dude.
I know,
Everybody's seeing through. I'm gonna if anybody wants us to go back to the map, just let me know and we'll go back. But now we're back to talking now. The thing of it is, and
back
for
to
those
banana land.
I see some people just joined in. If you want to go back to the election map and have any questions, comments, or scenarios you want to run through, let me know in the comments. I'll bring the map back up. But the thing about Kamala is the longer she's a candidate, the worse she's going to do because, and I'm not trying to shit on the lib or anything, but it's demonstrably true with Kamala Harris is the fact that and really her and the Democratic Party as a whole, she just wants to be president. So she will change her opinions and policies based on where she thinks the wind is blowing politically. We've already seen it. And they flat
Hmm.
out lie about her history. But and like let's talk about because everybody gives Trump grief for like bucking precedents and whatnot. Okay, let's look at this. In the same election year, you had an incumbent candidate, drop out in the middle of the race because he performed so abysmally, horribly during a debate. After all that shit talking, right? That was the best part. I think all that shit talking Biden was doing. And then they anoint Kamala, who I know it's kind of been said to death, right? But she's never won a primary vote for president ever. Never even received one, much less won a primary. She was
And you ain't never
anointed.
put in for drugs, not one time.
But you know what I mean? Like she's never received a primary vote ever.
Nope. She literally was planted. Like there's no getting around it. She was
And
planted.
well, and here's the thing though. This
They
is
knew what they were
why
doing.
this is why I'm more inclined. This is one of the many reasons why I'm more inclined to support Donald Trump because I put the shoe on the other foot. Let's say hypothetically that this would have never happened, but this is just how. Let's say that Ron DeSantis had won the Republican primary and he picked Trump as his VP. Now, keep in mind, this example isn't even really the same because Trump has at least won a primary before. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, that Ron DeSantis had found a personality in 2023 and he won the Republican primary. You know, let's just say that happened hypothetically, and he said, "You know what? I would like Donald Trump to be my running mate." Okay, and then let's say DeSantis just realizes that he has no personality and really fudges a debate with Joe Biden and says, you know what, I don't think I'm the man for this. I'm going to step down. And Donald Trump becomes anointed. Dude, within 30 seconds, there would have been headlines all over CNN, MSNBC, everywhere about how Trump is circumventing the democratic process. And this was all a plan, a nefarious plan by this evil orange fascist to just get himself back in. And he did it this way because he knew he couldn't win a primary election. Da 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 da
Dude,
da da da.
it's like the writers for Austin Power movies are literally our government. Like literally, they're just like, aha, we've got you for $3 million.
But
Give
you
us
for
your money,
three
or we'll cut your
minutes.
nutsack off.
3 minutes of free time. No, but I mean, tell me what I'm telling
I didn't
lies. To
know this
quote
was gonna be a cage.
to
I
quote
know.
CM Punk, tell me when I'm telling lies. You all know it would have happened. Every one of you knows it would have happened.
Mhm.
Just like when Joe Biden was caught with classified documents in his personal residence, nothing happened.
But yet they wanted to go after Trump. Funny.
I just love the fact that
Same
which
thing, and yet Trump was president and he was vice president. That's vastly different
like I said, it's not
because the
even
thing
the
is,
same.
regardless,
It's
it's
not
not
even,
even the
yeah.
same.
It's not even the same
Like
thing. It's worse.
Trump actually had somewhat,
You can make an argument. I don't think that argument
yes.
would hold up. But then I think the greatest thing was because if you go back to our episodes where we're talking about all the Trump court cases, I say the one thing they might actually get him on is the classified documents. But then a judge pointed out the way you brought charges on this case is unconstitutional. So that got
Oh,
thrown
because
out.
they essentially broke somebody's trust. It's like you can't. How did they come about it?
If I remember correctly, which this I'm not a lawyer, so correct me if I'm wrong. The way I understood it or remember it rather is that the who the fuck was it? The way they the way they brought forth the special counsel was not the normal process in which it is done. It was done in an unconstitutional manner.
Mm,
So hang on, I'm actually going to look that up real quick because I don't want to lead anyone astray. Let's see, Trump classified.
you're good. I'm getting over being sick, so my nose is all clogged up. So I'm probably breathing heavy into the microphone. Benji style. Rest in peace, Benji.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that was the thing. Okay, let's see.
Zoom's pretty good
Consume.
about that though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't really heard it.
So thirsty.
Okay. So a federal judge in Florida dismissed the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump on Monday, siding with the defense lawyers who said the special counsel who filed the charges was illegally appointed by the Justice Department.
Ooh, you don't
Let's.
say. He didn't say.
Well, I wanted to get a little bit more in depth, but
I won't.
let's see here. Okay, defense lawyers filed multiple challenges to the case, including illegally technical ones that asserted that special counsel Jack Smith's appointment by Attorney General Merrick Garland violated the Constitution's appointments clause because it did not go through Congress, and that Smith's office was improperly funded by the Justice Department. Which, honestly, if we're being real, the way, assuming that all that is accurate, accurately reported, the way that was done is that's politically motivated because why wouldn't you put it through Congress if that's the legal mechanism?
because we're
Because they
not
knew
operating under the color of law.
because they knew they wouldn't get approval, so they circumvented the system. Kind of like they always talk about Donald Trump trying to do on January 6th.
Isn't it ridiculous how they accuse, and it's literally them doing it's literally like they've got their
I've
hand
been
in the cookie
saying
jar and they're like, "You're stealing from the cookie jar."
I've been
Literally,
saying
it's
that since this thing began. And the thing that I always tell people about, I'm like, look, listen, Donald Trump's no saint. And he like especially with the electors case, I have a hard time seeing that defensible. I really do. But at the same time, these people being, like the Democrats, do crap like this all the time.
what do you mean these people
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
for 400 years? That word has
Dingo
held us
eat you.
down.
Let a dingo eat you, baby. That actually happened, you know.
Just trying to lighten the mood.
Oh gosh, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything, and we can go through if anybody wants to disagree. We can go through this. Everything that the left has accused Donald Trump of doing, someone on the left side of the aisle has done it, if the same way, if not worse. I just love, I like again, a fucking writer can't come up with this shit. And now it's been reported. You remember Nathan Wade, the attorney in Georgia, that was the
Mm.
ex-boyfriend of the prosecuting attorney, the attorney general.
Was he the one that was I can't remember. Tell me the story.
So Bonnie Willis's alleged ex.
What
Bonnie
happened to
Willis
her?
is the prosecutor in Fulton County.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with you now. Okay.
it's now come out that he met with the Biden administration.
It's been a while since I've talked about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, because it's
So,
he's been dismissed from the case, but it's now being reported that he met with the Biden Department of Justice.
oh, well, that's
Which,
interesting.
yeah, and the thing of it
That's
is,
conflict of interest, correct?
dude, that's straight up election
Beyond.
interference.
Oh, okay.
Well, the reason being is so you have to prove that it was to coordinate a case against Trump at a state level, but why else would a Georgia attorney who has never tried this kind of case before meet with the federal Department of Justice other than to
Yeah.
discuss that case? There's no rhyme or reason
There's local
otherwise.
judges. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for a state judge in his position at the time to be meeting with the federal Department of Justice. And here's the thing: if he was like let's okay, let benefit of the doubt, let's say he was interviewing for a job. All you would have to do is produce documentation, which would exist quite easily, that he was there for a job interview, or maybe it was an informal thing. But it's like, yeah, we were there discussing a job. As far as I know, that hasn't been produced. Now, to be fair, I read this article from Daily Wire, so I'm not
Keep chatting.
sure.
I'm grabbing a water.
Yeah, so I'm not sure of the specific details, but I have read that it's been alleged. So I'm not saying it's true yet. Do you still have your headphones in?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can
Oh,
you hear me
nice.
still?
I see your chair, and yeah, I can hear you.
That
How's that?
beautiful chair.
How's
I
that
still
chair
I still
treating
need
you?
I still need to make I need to make I'm so behind on everything, but I'm starting to get to the point get caught up. I've got a couple I actually have two doctor's appointments tomorrow backed up, like which I didn't know I was gonna have, so pretty cool.
Nice though, nice though. Well, and that's a pretty good aside for. Listen, do you think you can do this? If you do, we can help you. We being the Arate Media Podcast Pantheon. First link in the description is contact form where you can reach out to me personally and tell me your ideas for a podcast, and we can help make it a reality. And the best part is, it's all 100% free, baby. I mean, you're gonna have some like equipment needs and whatnot, but you're not buying that from us. So like you're not giving us a dime. We just want to create more independent voices even if you disagree with us. I actually think we need to get a more liberal leaning political podcast
Yeah,
because
because it's
it's
fun to have
lonely at the
political
top.
discourse when it's back and forth.
Yeah, it's lonely at the top. But speaking of back and forth, did you hear the news today about Tulsi Gabbard?
No, what about her?
She officially joined the Republican Party.
I already knew she would because the thing is she woke up a while back ago. Like, but the thing is she still supports like abortion and certain other things like not
Well, that's
taking
not it.
away gun rights but limiting them.
I need to know the specific position. But what funny you mentioned abortion because I was gonna share this
Past that,
privately.
her views are pretty decent, so low
Well, but
taxes.
I was thinking today because I heard Kamala in an interview. I think it was with ABC where she was asked if she would allow religious exemptions for hospitals, religious hospitals.
Didn't she say no?
Well, first she tried to dodge it by saying she's not going to engage in hypotheticals, but then she basically said, "I don't think we should be giving any exemptions for, fundamental rights." And I'm just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
Constitution,
Here's the thing.
biatch.
Here's the thing. Even if you are pro-choice, which I'll be on, although I had another, thanks to Ben Shapiro too, I had another bit of an epiphany in my stance on abortion, which I can get into if you want. But here's my point. I don't. Let's just assume that I'm pro-choice in this example. Even if I were pro-choice, that's a blatant violation of the First Amendment. I mean, that's blatant to compel through law to force someone in the medical field to perform an abortion, even though they have religious convictions against it. Sorry, honey, that is a blatant violation of the First Amendment, and you will
Mhm.
get rocked in court. Like you will be impeached for that shit.
And
Blatant violation. Well, I
it
mean, she
won't just
won't.
be your presidency paying for it, it'll be you personally.
Well, unfortunately, no, it wouldn't be her, but not
Yeah,
personally.
that's right.
But the thing of it is, those kinds of mandates would never go through because, like, instantly, within seconds, there would already be a fucking injunction being like, no, violation of the First Amendment, violation of religious freedom. You cannot compel someone to perform an abortion. But this is very much a window into the soul of Kamala Harris and the left in general, because the thing of it is, and this is
You're gonna have
why
doctors doing it anyway.
well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. This is why the left is so ugly to me because they literally don't care about other people's freedoms. They only care about their freedoms. And as long as they're free to do what they want, they don't care whose rights they have to trample on and take away. And that's the biggest reason why I can't get behind the left. I don't agree with everything in the Republican Party, but I mean,
You disagree with more in the left.
just on a fundamental level because to me,
The simple shit is like, why are you making this so complicated?
I mean at the end of the day, yeah.
Like the whole boy girl thing. It's like, listen, dude, if dudes want to do something like that, that's fine. But like,
Well, and
if you obviously look like a man, dude, just go to the dude's restroom. Like, no one's gonna judge you, even if you are wearing a dress. But if you're a 6'4" burly guy, just go in the dude's restroom. Like seriously, like you're not fooling anybody there, Gary.
Well, and here's the thing. I had a conversation with somebody about this. So this is specifically about the trans and bathroom thing, but I think it speaks more broadly because you can apply this to anything. Like until they started trying to make this shit law, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody gave a fuck because I'm going to pee, man. I don't give a shit.
Because the way I just described it is how it was.
Yeah,
No one cared
because if you were passing for a girl, nobody was going to care. But if you came in there and said,
because they went
"Hey,
into a stall and they
ladies,"
did their business.
yeah, but instead you're doing the proverbial, and I say they, not everybody, but like the left. This is an allegory. You're coming in there, and you're not just going in there to use the bathroom. You're going there saying, "Look, ladies, I know I look like you, but I got a deal."
Dude,
I'm
it's
not
like
saying this is literally happening. It's just the proverbial.
it's hear me out, dude. It's like in the 90s and the early
No,
the 90s and the early two
shame,
in the 90s and
shame.
the early 2000s. Literally, we had life and the country figured out. It was fine
I
until
don't. I'm not going to go that
no,
far.
hold on, fuck off. It was fine because it was pretty great, dude. I don't care what anyone says, dude. We had a pretty awesome childhood between our cartoons, like all our action figures, like the foods we ate, like everything we experienced. Like we can no one can argue everything we experienced. Like we experienced the first of many things. No other generation can say that. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's say, "Oh, Gen X." So that's like, bitch, you're old. Shut up. You stopped the VCRs. Anyway, so we Super Nintendo kids took off, and I mean, dude, we've experienced more than any other generation. I think we're the most special, and I don't care what anyone says. Fight me, Gen X.
I think I think
I think
history
we're actually technically kind of Gen X. I've heard something, but anyway.
well, I think history will show that we've got a lot in common, not directly, but I mean in terms of like the rate of change that we've seen in our lives with the younger members of the greatest generation, those people that, you know, might have seen, the tail end of the First World War and past the Second World War. Because think about this. First of all, some of these people lived much like we did. We were born in the 20th century, but lived into the 21st, and they were born in the 19th century and lived into the 20th century. So you had the
Dude,
centennial change.
well, imagine the manufacturing age, like, dude, that would be like amazing to see.
That's
Like, you go
that's
from
probably a
just
better, yeah.
wheel, buggies and carts and whatnot, and all of a sudden, boom, a city goes up, and there's
Well, but that's
cars, and you're like,
let's
what
let's
the
consider
fuck?
let's consider what these people saw, right? Presumably in their lifetime, if they lived long enough, they saw they saw the literal transition from horse and buggy to automobiles, and not shitty automobiles, like legit automobiles, at least rudimentary, the same as what we have today, the internal combustion engine, that kind of stuff.
But also, it took years for that to happen in those
Sure.
areas. They didn't have a TV where they saw it in one day when it came out the day before.
No,
So
no.
literally, like everything they had to wait for, like, and it was just every
But
day they
consider,
just lived
but
their lives.
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the rate of change because Moore's law. Obviously, we experience more change, but I'm
Whoa.
just talking about. But think about this. Think about this.
That's why they
These are
only
all
lived to 50 because it was too damn long.
no, but they also these are also people that went from having no television period to television.
That's pretty big. That is
That's
actually
fucking
pretty
wild.
big. You know
That's
what?
fucking
You're right.
wild.
That's pretty big.
And
But there's always been entertainment throughout human
sure,
history, but
sure,
everybody knows exactly what it is. So,
but and then here's the other thing. These are also people, and this is probably the biggest one. These are people who it's possible went from not having an airplane at all to space travel in their
bitch,
lifetime.
there were dudes back in the freaking Mayan days putting wings on.
That's a glider. That's not the same thing. I mean, like a legitimate
I
engine
don't care, dude.
powered
That
airplane.
shit would be fun. Do you imagine they get it big? No, seriously, they get it big enough and light enough to where they can flap the wings.
Well, I mean,
Gah!
you'd be gliding, but yeah, yeah. No, that's presumable. Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've experienced a lot.
Yes,
That's what I'm
take it up.
saying. That's what I'm saying. The rate of increase, though, I think we probably have a bit more in common, just at the rate of change that we've had to see and adapt with. Not to
Hmm.
mention some pretty. Like, I'm not comparing what our generation's seen to the First World War and the Second World War, but I mean, a lot of shit's happened. That's what I'm getting at. But
Uh, I will say a lot of them on a grander scale saw more, but since our population's more, technically we saw more, if that makes
yeah, yeah,
sense.
we saw more in
But
volume.
but percentage wise, they got us beat.
I that's what I'm saying. We got them in
Numbers
volume.
wise, we win. Percentage wise, they win.
Well, we got quantity, they got quality. Because I mean, like
Yeah,
these are people that went from not having television at all to having television in their house, presumably in their lifetime. That's
they're
wild.
they were quality men and women from the 40s and 50s. Give me a beer, bitch.
See, I don't
Cook my
think that's really
dinner.
I don't think that's
No,
really all
no,
that
I
accurate.
know, and everybody talks about that, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't like that. I'm just like, there's always bad seeds in every bunch. Like you're
Well, no,
always
it's
gonna
it,
have.
it's not just that. I forget who I'm not talking to. I forget who I was listening to, but she brought up a very good point. This sort of idyllic view of the 1950s America is not. It's very much an oddity in terms of history because she brought up the fact that it's like, you know, women. during the Second World War, like who was working in the factories? It was a lot of women. And do you really think that when their husbands came home, they were like, nah, I'm good? Not immediately. Over time, maybe. But like it wasn't quite that way. A lot of that has to do with film and television of the era, but I
Yeah,
digress. That's a
but
different
honestly, femininity was not
femininity.
like it was pushed on them. Like a lot of them actually voted that they didn't want to, and then they were forced by other
Well, they weren't
radical women.
forced.
Well, I mean, they were essentially just like, okay, whatever, Karen, because they were submissive wives.
Well, no, people
It's like,
forget
okay.
people forget about the 1920s. Like
Yeah.
that was a wild time. It wasn't exactly the moral highlight of the United States.
Those pictures will take your soul, eh? Don't those cameras are dangerous, eh? Oh, I
Oh
don't know
wait, we
why
can take
I don't know why he's Mexican.
I don't know why he's Mexican, man, but oh wait, we can take photos without clothes on? So anyway, I want to go back to the map because I want to see how I want to see how
Thank God
bad
for you staying on track, man.
I just want to see how bad. So I think the worst case scenario is if somehow Kamala can take yeah, if oh wait, hold on. I gave her some states. Never mind. Let me move this back to the predictions we had.
You're awfully nice. I don't think she has a chance in hell, but I also didn't think Biden had a chance in hell either, man. And
I'm
that one confused me. Like seriously, that one confused me.
again, it didn't confuse me after everything came in because they changed the rules, man. They changed the rules
I know, but like with what everybody saw, it's like, dude, how could you not be open-minded to this? Like, how the hell are
because
you
they
so
wanted their guy to win. That's what's really kind of scary about the politics of today. And honestly, this is why I want Trump a second term because Trump can never be president again. He has no reason to be conservative. I mean, not I don't mean politically conservative. I mean like actually be conservative.
he doesn't have to
He
run
doesn't
again,
have to
so
yeah, he
therefore
doesn't
he
have
can
to
be himself for these last 4 years.
yeah, he doesn't have to worry about reelection. But
And
he still
honestly,
he
does that scare you, or
no,
does that
that excites me,
you
bro.
don't see him as a threat? You think he's
No.
actually? I honestly think he's a peaceful guy.
I think overall, well, and here's the other thing too. And I
I
think
think he
this
likes
might
money more than he likes war.
well, yeah, I mean, we all should.
It's
Um
way easier to be profitable with a company or with another country, and you don't even have to be in war. You can literally trade shit. It's not that difficult.
well, the thing of it is though, and this is what everybody seems to be forgetting on the left is that we've already had President Trump before and the world didn't end. In fact, the world did quite well. Without, you know, COVID notwithstanding, but Trump didn't cause
The
COVID.
entire world,
The entire world.
not just the United States.
It was good, man.
Let's
It was
reiterate that.
good. It was good. And I think it's demonstrable that Trump also exposed a lot of the truisms that ended up not being accurate. Because like I was a big proponent of free trade
Well,
prior
I'm gonna
to
say
the
right now that this dude, hold on, there we go. This dude right here, he was a never Trumper ever, and he's just like he opened up his mind and started listening to the guy.
well
He started
after,
listening to Ben Shapiro of all people. I can't even stand Ben anymore.
well actually he's responsible for I had another epiphany moment on abortion thanks to Mr. Shapiro today actually. But that's a separate conversation. No, the thing about Trump is I said, okay, well, we got president, and I always preferred Trump over Hillary. Like, that was never a thing. That was
Yeah, of
never a
course.
bone of contention with me. But I said, okay, we got President Trump. I voted Libertarian. But even then, I didn't love the Libertarian candidate during that election. So I was like, whatever, we'll see what we got, right? Oh, no, that was 2020. I actually liked the Libertarian candidate in 2016. I digress.
Gary Johnson, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I digress. But I said, okay, well, we got a President Trump. Hopefully he can deliver on a portion of what he's talking about. It was great policy. Generally speaking, it was good stuff. And generally speaking, he did what he at least tried to do what he said he would do. Congress stopped a lot of it, but that's typical. And that was typical with Biden too. Biden was unable to do a lot of things he set out to do because Congress or the Supreme Court stopped him. My point is, we've had 4 years of Trump, and it was good. And my
No,
favorite
you could almost say it was great.
Nah. No, my favorite thing to do with
I
people
ain't
that are
saying the
like
rest of it.
my favorite thing to do with people that are like so scared of Trump, I'm like, really think back because I like again, I'm not perfect. Think back. What was something that was worse under Trump than under Obama or Biden? Name one thing. Nobody can.
I got one thing,
What's one
and it
thing?
and it actually did fuck me over on quite a few $1,000s. Okay, so I spent $2,000 on a credit card as a W-2 employee in 2018. I wasn't aware that they took away the long form tax to where a
Mm.
W-2 worker could write off gas. I lost out on 2 grand, and that actually really fucked me over for that job because that 2 grand would have been able to run me until winter was over, and I would have had money, just fine.
Well,
And
blame
so
your
I ended up
accountant for that.
well, yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I ended up leaving the job, and that's when I went back to Cagney's, was delivering pizzas for them, making like 4 grand a month.
Right? Um, but yeah, and the thing is, what I'm saying is, I'm not because I'm sure there were policies that people disliked under Trump, but really think about it. This is the question I pose to everybody who's like scared of Trump. Try to think about something. Try to think, COVID notwithstanding, but that was outside of Trump. But honestly, the average American didn't have it that bad under COVID. I'm just gonna say it. It
Well,
really,
hold on.
obviously, the people that got really sick and hospitalized, that was rough. But I mean, just the general. What was that? You were gonna say something?
No, I just yeah, I want to do a quick solidification of your comment, your first one. So basically, I implore you, if you think Donald Trump said something, look up the clip and watch the whole thing. Don't let it get cut up. Watch the whole clip and watch for context, clues, and whatnot, and see what he's talking about. Be out.
I'm being out
Don't just listen to a clip here and there cut up by your favorite media stars.
right.
Look up the whole clip.
Except except us, because we did a debate fact check that I thought was quite good, and
Well,
I mean people
that's the
liked it.
thing. We're honest about things. Even if we cut something up, it's still honest. It's not cut up meant to be
Yeah,
clickbait. I mean,
it's not.
sometimes it might be clickbait, but it's not like clickbait to like make you, I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of which, I hope everybody enjoyed our new series of shorts. Can Donald Trump dance to it?
I like that. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's good. I feel like I picked the wrong song for the first one, but I'm gonna make up for it tomorrow. Everybody's gonna like it.
You know what's funny? I didn't dislike that song.
I put it on my playlist. I was like, damn,
I
this is good.
I didn't dislike that song, and I was like Billie Eilish. I was like, okay, right on.
It's the first Billie Eilish song that's been on my playlist. I'm like, you know what? It's a good driving song. It's just like, yeah, chill. But so I'm just for those of you just joining us, I was going over. So this is the prediction based upon the polls from Real Clear Politics and The Hill. And what's funny is even only a couple of days ago, these two were disagreeing with each other in some of the swing states, and now they all agree with each other. So I wanted Trump to take Minnesota just for a moral victory, but I don't think that's going to happen. Um, but yeah, so like I was saying, even if Kamala can squeeze Wisconsin and Michigan somehow, oh my bad,
Wisconsin.
Trump still wins.
Yeah, dude. There's no scenario where he doesn't unless I at this point you're not. It's not happening. Like there's no way. And if this ends up being another Biden event,
Well, and
I
it'd be
don't
one
I don't
thing.
want to think what's gonna happen, man.
Well, and it'd be one thing too if there was like if Trump were polling higher in Pennsylvania and not so much in the other swing states, I would think, okay, maybe this is a statistical anomaly. It's within the realm of possibility. But I mean, he's polling higher in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. Every single battleground state right now, he's polling higher. And yet somehow Kamala Harris, actually, I can tell you why Kamala Harris is polling higher in the popular vote because of states like California and New York and places like that. But what
Yeah,
nobody, what what
because it's literally
nobody,
two states and it controls so
so
much,
much.
dude.
But what nobody ever points out in the media is the fact that the popular vote doesn't matter. I don't care about the popular vote. I care about the state polls.
Yeah, because honestly, popular vote, man, you would end up with tools all the time because honestly, the popular vote is literally someone says, I'm gonna get new vending machines in the lunchroom, and it never happens. It's like,
We
yeah,
did
don't vote for the popular guy.
we did that bit already. I did the Biden joke where it's like, no, we're Pepsi every day. 'Cause we talked to Pepsi. There are Coke machines in there. Yeah, tell you what.
Fruitopia. Back in my day, we
No
had
kidding. Hey,
legs on our hair.
I'll tell you what. I forget his name, but the guy who's doing the Biden impressions on SNL is killing it. And Maya Rudolph, and this is a good compliment because I don't like Maya Rudolph. I don't find her funny. She's nailing it as Kamala.
Um, did you see that Shane Gillis actually turned down to play Trump on SNL for 6 weeks or whatever, however long?
Oh man.
And they were gonna, yeah, they were gonna pay him to be Trump on there for like however long. He turned it down for a fest that he's at right now. I was just watching it live on Kill Tony. I think it was Kill Tony or something like
Oh,
that.
you know what? I
By the
get why
way,
he would do that.
have you been watching any of the Kill Tony stuff?
So funny.
It's genius, man.
Well, I see why Shane Gillis turned that down because on Kill Tony he can say whatever he wants.
I don't find Kill Tony funny. Like I
No,
don't find
no,
him
but
very funny, but like the rest of people that Cam, dude, like
their
seriously, like
Biden
Up and Rise, he is so funny.
their Biden is good too. The guy they got doing the Biden bits and the
Oh,
Kill
dude, the
Tony
guy they
shows.
do have the guy they have to do Dr. Phil. Oh man, I love it when he's talking with Cam and Cam says, what's up, blah 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 blah, and Dr. Phil's is like, okay.
Well, geez, now people are coming into the live stream. You can see the
Oh,
election
well,
map.
hello everybody.
These are the poll numbers based upon Real Clear Politics and The Hill. So if you have any questions, grievances, scenarios you would like to run, like let's say that Kamala takes Indiana, because that's a thing that
Yeah,
would ever
right.
happen. Yeah, no,
We,
that's a strong
we
red.
bleed red.
That's a strong red right here.
We.
So check this out. So this is the 2020 map. No, it's not. Why didn't it? It didn't update. It's supposed to update. So this is the change in based on polling data, but that's not what I want. I want. Okay, well, whatever. We'll go back to that. I was trying to make it interesting, but
Is the gray technically toss up? Well, what does toss up mean?
so when I reset the map, those states are toss-ups.
Gotcha. I know what you mean now.
Yeah,
Um,
but based on the polls, these are all going Trump, which that would be incredible. So here's the thing. Just so it's not as embarrassing. Kamala's got to take one or two of these battleground states. I gotta think, but I mean, based on the polls, no. But I got it.
all right,
That's
which are the battleground states? Any of the blue right here, except for California
all the
and New York.
tan gray ones are
Okay,
battleground states.
you have to forgive me. Everything's kicking in.
No, you're good. So, but again,
Okay.
I
Honestly, I hate to say it, Pennsylvania. I could see it. They're pretty stupid
see
apparently.
I don't though
They
because
they
Trump.
they they, they shot themselves in the foot in 2016, or I'm not in 2016. Did they vote red in 2016? I think they
Yes,
did, didn't they?
they did.
And then they shot themselves in the foot in 2020.
Yeah, but that was after they changed the election laws, and there may have been some fuckery there. That's why. And I'm just because again, I know this is anecdotal, but like if you
Is the
look online,
268, 267 nightmare is probable?
Kat, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if you just joined us. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But based upon the polling data from Real Clear and The Hill, this is the
That would,
probable
that would be
election map.
terrible. That would be terrible. So what would happen?
It would go to the House and they would vote.
And the House is,
Majority Republican marginally.
ooh,
Yeah.
well,
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. A lot of political favors could be negotiated. So that's
you
risky.
might
We
have
don't,
some Republicans flip
you
and get
might have
paid.
some, you might have, well, either that, there's some never Trumpers, right?
Fucking lobbyists, dude. Man,
Well, no, I don't think that would be lobbyists at that point. I think that would be
I don't
internal.
care. Bribery, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
embezzlement or not embezzlement, but whatever it is.
Yeah, bribery,
It's ridiculous.
insider voting. But yeah, Kat, so I don't foresee that happening because like I said, even if Kamala squeaks by in Wisconsin and Michigan, Trump still wins. So Kamala would basically have to take almost every battleground state to win. So if she got,
Which,
well, at least half of them, because if she got Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, I think she barely wins.
which,
Um,
by the way, Kat, if you're still with us, who do you think is going to win the 2024 election? No judgment.
so, but then even like I said, if Kamala can squeak by Georgia, which seems unlikely because Trump's poll numbers keep going higher and higher there, and
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, but Trump can maintain. See, this would be a bad scenario. Oh no, it wouldn't. 270. I read that as 267. So Trump still wins. My bad. I read
You don't think
267. It's
you don't think
277.
Vancouver would ever flip? Isn't that Bernie state?
Vermont's
Vancouver,
Vermont's not going to flip.
Vermont.
Yeah, Vancouver's over here in
Yeah.
Canada.
I- yeah. If there are no irregularities, she can't win, in my opinion.
See, I
Yeah,
agree, just based on the
understood.
polls. Yeah,
Yeah.
based on the polls. But here's the funny thing. So Trump
Mail-in
might
ballots and all
actually,
that fun stuff. Those are irregularities.
I mean, honestly, this map looks solid to me. I New Mexico might, but it's not considered a battleground state.
You think he's actually going to landslide it?
I mean, I would consider this a pretty strong win.
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm
This
saying.
is you, so I'm just like, damn, man.
I The thing is, all these polls are margin of error, and but
Yeah.
here's the thing. So no matter how you look at it, like I said earlier, Cat, question for you: did you delete your comment, or did YouTube just delete it? Because I didn't delete a thing.
Uh, Most of the time, yeah, I think it would say restricted,
Yeah,
message restricted, not
I'm
unprivate.
just checking because
Yeah, no worries. You're
if you
good.
didn't want your chat, oh, she did. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Don't want you to be censored because we don't censor here. What was I
They,
saying? So the article I was talking about says that they corrected for all these polling mistakes in 2016 and 2020. If that's true, then these polls are more accurate. And if it's not true, um, Trump historically outperforms his poll numbers. So no matter how you slice this, I think Trump's the strong winner. And as we know, first of all, no candidate could pull this out in 2 weeks unless she literally caught Trump pants down fucking a donkey.
dude, I just want to
And I
be
mean
able
an
to
actual
buy
donkey, not a
groceries.
Democrat.
I just want to be able to buy groceries and get fat again. Like I miss food. I miss chicken teriyaki so much.
Bro.
Like Sarku has had like what is it, teriyaki Tuesdays for the last like 4 Tuesdays. I only got to one and it was 7.99 for the thing, which is still it's an okay price, but like I mean it's still 7.99. It's not 9.99 or whatever it is, you know.
That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
like I mean I love that shit.
it's good. It's good stuff.
Anyway, so I'll get
So
back
yeah,
on.
I mean, I'm just even so like let's say that, and this is based on older polling actually. So, but let's say that Kamala takes Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Trump still wins.
There's no scenario.
I mean, there's always a scenario. I mean, all these polls could just be way off, but here's the thing. If somehow Kamala takes a majority of the swing states based on these poll numbers, it's pretty obvious there's some fuckery going on. I was
Of course.
like if there were like let's say that the polls were real close in Pennsylvania and Kamala took it, you know what? Fair enough. It's within margin of error, but this is two, three, four, five, six, seven battleground states that are all every single one of them Trump is polling at least slightly higher based upon two aggregate poll collections. There is no discrepancy here. And if she somehow pulls out more than half of these, There's there's fuckery.
You think Colorado's going to stay blue?
Yeah, based on the polls. Well, keep in
I
mind, Colorado's attorney general, Secretary of State, tried to remove Trump from the ballot. So
yeah,
there's some leftist fuckery going on there.
you're right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm just like, listen, if you have somebody actively trying to remove a name from a ballot, that person does not care about your freedom of speech.
No, no.
They definitely don't care about your right to bear arms, so therefore they will murder you. You guys ever seen the movie what is it? Where everybody wears the masks and they can kill people for
The
1 day out of the
Purge.
year? The Purge. Yeah. Is a Reagan probable? What do you mean? Is Reagan
I'm
probable?
assuming by that you mean the Reagan like landslide victory, which it wasn't a. Actually, that's a good question. I wonder if I can find that.
I sure hope he
Greetings,
doesn't
boys
have
and
such
girls. My name
disastrous
is Isaiah
policies that
Vargas.
cost a
For
lot of
over
money.
3 decades, our
I know
Accelerator
Reagan
Roger, go
didn't
for
do very
deploy.
well, but
2, 1, 0, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
that right there is a landslide. You think that?
It shifted. We have hotkeys in OBS, and when I type something, I you guys saw a lot of different shit there. So this is the Reagan electoral map. Um, no, I don't think this. I don't
No.
think this level is gonna. Well, because I mean, there ain't no way Trump's taking California.
The
There's no way in
country
hell.
is very, very split. It's very split. Like almost
I
even.
I'll
It's
tell
forty
you what.
fifty. I almost think it's 40-50 like that one map showed.
Yeah, she's Kat is exactly right. Only Minnesota held out, um, and DC apparently, but
I gotta hold on to my soul, even though I already sold it to the Democratic Party.
so no, I don't think this is possible, but I definitely think this is possible. Maybe even this. But I mean, in New Mexico doesn't. I hate to say this because every state matters, but in the context of the grand scheme, New Mexico's electoral votes just don't matter. Indiana's electoral votes don't matter, and I live there. It's coming down to these battlegrounds.
I
Um,
know everybody's so worried about Indiana and like certain states, and I'm just like Arkansas, and I'm just like, don't worry, guys, we're not gonna sway an
nah, man,
election.
Trump comes to Indiana for a break on the campaign trail. This is where he can cut loose.
How come the border doesn't affect New Mexico? Just because of people in charge there. I mean,
I would say the size
it
of the
affects the
border.
residents, and they all say it. Like they're in the news, saying this, but no one listens to them because the news media is owned. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
like
I
I
don't
never
live
used to think this stuff.
I don't live in New Mexico, but also look at the size of its border with Mexico comparative to.
Ask Walter White.
Hey
Did
man,
he live in New Mexico or was it Arizona?
New Mexico.
Yeah, that's what I thought. With the pizza on the roof.
He loved los pollos, hermano. Did you know, apparently, because that house is a real place, did you know, apparently,
Hmm.
it's a problem that people come and throw pizzas on the roof? And that's somebody's actual fucking house. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of the times, like, they put up a sign that says, "Listen, real people live here. Please just leave us
exactly.
alone. You can take pictures,
You
but
can take
please just leave us
pictures.
alone."
Exactly.
It's like just don't knock on the door. Don't be a nuisance.
So here is one important thing, and I've forgotten 3 times to bring it up. This is
Science,
why
bitch.
this actually you'll appreciate this.
All right.
In the last episode of the Final Frontier that we did, I actually have there's a segment where I nerd out about dilithium actually being a thing, like a real thing. And in that, how to describe dilithium as a chemical compound, it's a covalent bond. So guess what clip I used to explain to people who may not know what a covalent bond is? You got so the
A
fuck
covalent bond.
I
I,
literally
I I can't I can't I can't do it right now.
it literally cuts to Channing Tatum going, so what the fuck did they say about a covalent bond at this school? And then the kid explains what it is. And then at the end of my science diatribe, cuts to the
Fucking
board.
nerd.
You science. I loved it. Um, so this is one reason why. A lot like people should honestly be afraid of the Democratic Party because they're trying to do some shit. There is a reason they are pushing for statehood for Washington D.C. and Puerto Rico. There is a reason. These are two areas that lean heavily Democrat. And by doing if those get statehood, it increases the electoral votes that would lean Democrat marginally, but it is. But more importantly, what it does is it skews the Senate because each state gets two senators. So if you get two new states, that's four new senators.
Can one learn this from a Jedi?
Not
No,
from a Jedi. So that's
only
big,
from the dark side.
and not to mention the additional seats in the House, although that's a little bit less, you know, cut down the middle. This is why and they want to. They've already been on record. They want to pack the Supreme Court. They've said this. The current day left and Democratic Party do not give a flying fuck about the Constitution. They don't care about precedent. They don't care about the rule of law unless it benefits them. They just
And
don't
you know
care.
what? It's like our president. He's like a pro wrestler anyway, and he's already halfway there. And dude, it's fun to just watch him in office.
He's a
And if
WWE Hall of Famer.
honestly, if anything, that brings to mind a good segue for a random sponsorship ad, Mr. Jake. Why don't you throw us down the middle sponsorship in here?
Well, I'm here to tell you that if you love pro wrestling like I do, you should check out Down the Middle every other week, Thursdays at 30 p.m., where they talk all about professional wrestling and about me occasionally. Back when I was younger, had better hair, I fought Vince McMahon. A lot of people don't remember this. I fought Vince McMahon, I fought Rosie O'Donnell, and I beat them both. He didn't actually fight Rosie O'Donnell. It was a wrestler dressed as him and Rosie O'Donnell. But this is a match that happened on television.
Heck yeah, I remember that.
This is a thing that happened.
And
And
listen, if we're gonna have a network, this is how we operate. This is how it is. We throw out shameless plugs. That's exactly how it is. So if you want to be a part of the network podcast, hit us up.
first link in that description right there. Send us a message. We'll help your dreams come true.
All all your vitals dreams will come true. I can't even say wildest. All your vitals dreams will come true. Like, yeah.
So gonna let you guys know next week will probably be kind of more of a fun, lighthearted episode unless something massive happens politically.
Well,
Um,
we might do Dragon Ball
Another
Daima.
Daima. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have a little bit more to talk
maybe
about.
instead of doing every single episode, we do like every 5 episodes we cover 5 episodes,
I
like
think
I'm
that's
saying. So because
probably, yeah, I
so
think
that
that's
way
probably
so
better.
that way we can actually have a content packed hour instead of like content packed 15 minutes.
Well, once you finish DBZ Abridged, we'll have some real fun.
Dude, all right, listen. That shit is so good.
It's so
I'm not
good.
gonna lie. It's dude, like my favorite thing right now is just nail. Nail. I saw the bird.
No, I saw a bird. It was
Dude,
pretty.
dude, the way they make him talk, it cracks me up
Is it
more than
just me,
any.
or I get massive Donald Trump vibes from Guru in DBZ Abridged?
Nail. I saw a bird.
What the
Man,
hell was that?
dude, who was it that kept saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?"
That's Nappa.
Napa, yeah, yeah. And then I love it when when he kills them and he comes back and he haunts them and he's just like, Ned Vegeta. I can't remember what he
I
said.
like it when they go to, what is it, Arlia? He's like, "Oh no, Vegeta, I killed her." It's good shit, man.
Oh,
It's good
I
shit.
love it.
That being said, what was I saying? So yeah, next week will probably be a fun, lighthearted episode. But just to let you guys know, on election day, starting at I don't know exactly what time we'll start, but sometime in the evening. The plan is we're going to be bringing you live election coverage, probably through our friends at 270 to win.
And
.com.
also just to be sure everyone's aware, like just because we're doing election stuff and whatnot, like this is not all we do. We do all kinds of stuff. This is why like we have Dragon Ball Z stuff on here. We do everything.
We're basically a
So
topical, like current events
yeah.
podcast.
So if you literally just are literally just everything, literally we just yeah, I have
But
nothing to say.
the reason it's funny is because we're morons.
Exactly. I'm more of a moron. So like this guy has his degree in bullshit, all AG. Let's see.
I
I
have
can't
my
even speak.
BS. I do have my BS in bullshit. My BS degree, if you will.
Hey, I've been a salesman quite a few years, so I know my way around some words when I need to. When it involves money. That's what I'm saying, dude. Listen, everybody, we just want to say thank you for all the views on the Dragon Ball Z live, like the one about the narrator passing. Seriously, that is like all that video alone is almost pushed us like this close to monetization. So if you're still watching that stuff, man, we appreciate it. Keep it up. Let's those rookie numbers. Let's pump them up.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
Pump them up. All right, Jake, you look tired.
I am. I'm extremely tired. I was gonna say something in closing. Um, but yeah, we'll see you guys on election
Long
day.
ass fucking time ago.
Now we'll see you guys on election day, and we will. I doubt we'll have election results that night, but we'll stick with it as long as we possibly can until I probably will look like this.
Please.
And the things and the stuff and the thing. Yeah, but we
All
the
right,
stuff.
everybody. Good night.
Yes.